What's good, superstars? Back with another digital collecting video. You got Superstar Joe, you got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good, you?
Man, Metaverse talk is back. We're going to get right into that. But guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we go deep into these topics, deep into these topics, we're going to see how this relates to the Web3 space. What are our thoughts? How do we see this playing out? We've recently done a video on if Web3 is even necessary in order to have a metaverse, like in terms of NFTs. Is it just going to be digital space, whatever? We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into the details, but also become a superstar VIP. It's $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. Get one of these stars next to your name entered into all our giveaways at the end of every single month. And it's a lot of fun. Also, make sure you follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, but join the Discord. If you're going to do anything today, it's going to be one thing you want to do to improve your life. Join the Discord, and then you can go there and you can talk about this in there with all the other superstars. I mean, it's always a conversation happening in there about all projects. And this Disney thing's been a big deal, so a lot of people are chatting about it over there. So definitely go check out the Discord. The link is in the description. Rob, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going well, man. I mean, today we got bombshell news for the space. This is a really, really important deal, which we're going to break down. And I mean, I think, Joe, we can get started doing it. Let's bring some information up. There we go. You got this beautiful photo. Can you expand that photo? Crazy.
Yeah,
Today, can you believe it? Disney announces that they actually purchased 10% of Epic Games for $1.5 billion. And they announced that they're going to be creating what I call a Disneyverse, but it will be a Disney universe. And if you look at this photo, you got all sorts of amazing stuff. I see a Wreck-It Ralph on the bottom there. I see ESPN, Marvel, like, is that like Avatar on the right there? Like, it's crazy, and they're going to really shake things up. Sorry, do you want to get in there?
No, I'm just saying, like, they came out with a ton of coverage on this. I mean, Disney, we've seen in the Web3 space, they've stayed away from advertising any of it. Now, this is obviously their own baby. This is a massive deal, buying 10% of Epic Games. The stock shot up like 8% in the aftermarket. Obviously, there's earnings calls, I think, happening. So they wanted to wait to give this news out right before then. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big news. There's tons of coverage happening. This is from IGN, which is, I think, one of the first ones that broke it. There's a huge trailer here if you want to go and watch it over there. I'm not going to play it. Don't know if there's copyrights on it, but it's incredible. It shows all of the characters that we know and we love with that Fortnite aesthetic. Very, very fun. It's a great read. Definitely go check it out. Also, I wanted to show this off. It's on the Disney website. This is the Walt Disney company.com. So they have their own article on it. They're talking about how everything's powered by Unreal Engine. So the best of the best power in this. And then the other thing I wanted to show is that Disney also covered this on their Twitter. We've seen Disney cover digital collectibles before with veve in November of 2022, but haven't touched it since. This is that video here. I don't know if it's gonna get us demonetized, but anyways, you can see it's just incredible what they're planning here. There's obviously more to the story. So yeah, I mean, it was massive news on a day that nobody really expected this type of news. And it was funny because when the Vision Pro came out, we did a video a couple of days ago talking about how Disney doing this integration with the Vision Pro is kind of game changing, and how we just noticed that they had like little 3D objects from Marvel movies and the Avengers Tower as a cinema area where you can watch movies. And we took it a little bit further from there, and we said, what if they start to make these into experiences where you can walk through that Avengers Tower, or if you can go pick up Iron Man's shield? Like, that's going to be something that's going to really be eye-catching and eye-grabbing, and it's going to draw in the masses, whereas some of the things we have now maybe will not do the same because they don't have the experience or the utility built in, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the video we did 2 days ago. The Vision Pro will not save your bags. And we got a lot of people actually debating us on this. The point that we're trying to make here, which is many points we're trying to make there, but if you look at the Vision Pro and you see the kind of utility you can get from this from an entertainment perspective, when you watch these intros, is very early technology at this point in terms of just coming out on February the 2nd, and look, it's February the 7th, and I mean, getting people in my own personal life message me, yo, you guys see that Vision Pro? Oh my God, this is going to change the world. I'm like, yeah, I mean, we've only been talking about this for like the last 2 years. You're right, it is going to change the world. And the point we're trying to make in this video is that if you're a third-party company like veve, for example, because it was mainly the veve fam that was coming after us in our video on X, you better make sure you can stand out because if you can't stand out, you're going to have the actual licensors creating all kinds of experiences that you will not be able to compete with. People will rather go there than to you because they have experiences that are better. Secondly, you're going to have how do you know, for example, that the format we have right now, we talk about FAs, right? So you buy something, it's the first time on blockchain. We like to call it, it's going to be FA. The assumption is that it's going to be like an Amazing Fantasy 15, or somehow in the future it's going to be worth $1 million. There's thousands of these, there's millions of these things. They're going to be worth $1 million. Like this is the assumption that people are making when they talk about investments as it relates to digital collectibles being FA. But how do we know in the future that people are going to care specifically about these specific digital collectibles that are really limited licenses? They're not actual ownerships. You only own the token, which is on, in this case, Immutable X. That's what you own. And that's giving you rights to a limited license to use collectibles that you only get access to through their specific app. So how do you know in the future that the future investors, let's say, the future collectors, let's say, are going to value that first token that was a limited license for a product? Maybe in the future, you're going to have an actual, like, I don't know, Disney offered 3D file if you go into their app and use it. Maybe it won't even be an NFT. Maybe it's going to be this Disneyverse and people are going to want it, and they're going to be attracted to that with whatever other platform that they create in-house. And this is the point that we're trying to make, and we're specifically calling out veve fam because they were the ones debating the FA with confidence that in the future, simply having historic value is for sure going to be enough to make it top notch. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, obviously, we don't agree completely with that. With first on veve being for sure the one that is going to be the most sought after. It's going to be the thing that people want the most is going to be the thing that people want the most, and the most people know about, and the most people are interested in. Right now, what do we have on veve? Like maybe 10,000 active users if we're being generous on a monthly basis. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but they're in the tens of thousands, if anything, right? So that's the numbers that we're seeing. But when it comes to Fortnite, we have 500 million registered players, and monthly there are 236 million active users. Okay, you're not in the same atmosphere. You're a fly on the wall. So if you think that your asset is going to be better or more sought after than the asset on Fortnite, you're out to lunch. All right, you're out to lunch. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Look at this number on the screen and then go look at veve Fox's tracker. Okay, that's the truth. We're not sugarcoating it. We would love to see NFT technology and ownership matter and mean something in the future, but this is coming like a steamroller. We saw it the first day the Vision Pro came out. We saw the integration and the way that you can interact with a digital space, digital area, and we just saw the future in that moment. It might not be what's there right now. There might be a still Iron Man or a still Captain America shield on the floor right now, okay? But this is the beginning. What happens when you could pick that up? What happens when you could walk around the Avengers Tower? What happens? People are going to want to be there. They're not going to want to be in the Veveverse with a digital collectible that you can walk around and maybe put some blocks against and make your own stuff out of shapes. They're going to want to be in the officially licensed Disney Plus experience and doing that stuff. And then they're going to want to go jump onto Fortnite and they're going to want to play with their friends in the metaverse, because the metaverse is not what we think it is. Right now, Disney's telling us that the metaverse is going to be interoperability between these amazing companies that have experiences and utility. What are the two biggest gaming utility things around right now? You got Roblox, you got Fortnite. Those are the two biggest that are drawing in hundreds of millions of people. This is not tens of thousands. This is not even 100,000. This is hundreds of millions of people. Take that in and sit on that, all right? Because then there's other things, and this is something that you gotta really pay attention to. Disney's been in this deep. If you do not know, Disney had Epic Games in their accelerator program. Did you know that? You didn't know that. 2017, Epic Games was in their accelerator program, and this is when they had 10 million users. You can read it right here. They had 10 million users on Fortnite. All right, so this is the beginning. They've been in their pocket, giving them guidance since then. You think that you're involved? Disney and Epic Games are together trying to build out this metaverse. It's insane. And I want to pull one more thing up, and then Rob, I'll let you go at it. But on The Verge, the Epic Games CEO, Tom Sweeney, was interviewed. This is like March 2023. and he's talking about what his vision of the metaverse is. And he says, this is open ecosystem stuff, sounds great, but practically how does this, they're asking him the question, because he says that it's going to be a way that you can be interoperable amongst the different platforms like Roblox. And they're asking him, how do you convince Roblox or the equivalent that this should be an open system where they work together? And basically he goes on talking about how it has to work that way. He goes, not really about competition when it comes to this. You're building something that's never been built before. And basically you buy something on one of them, you can do something on another one with the same asset. And that's how they see it going. Not necessarily that you have Web3 or NFT ownership. And we saw something with that come out when they were talking about NFTs when .swoosh was involved with Fortnite. They said, listen, Fortnite has nothing to do with NFTs. You can't sell, you can't trade, you can't do any of that stuff. I think .swoosh did their own thing where if you signed up and you did certain things, you got stuff on their platform. But as far as Fortnite is concerned, their economy has never allowed you to sell, trade, do any of that stuff.
I mean, you went off there. I'm going to backtrack just very quickly on that one because I do have something to follow up with specifically as it relates to the veve fan there, because they are the ones that keep pushing us on our videos and commenting and basically contesting our utility argument. We will debate utility all day long with you guys. Okay. Yeah. David, you went and posted this. And you know, I'll be honest, like it doesn't really say anything. They don't have a really concrete, well-developed roadmap on utility. When we talk about utility veve, we're talking about MCP. We're talking about OUP. These are things that are on their website that you can look up and you can find. From interviewing the team, we know that there's things that they would like to do. Although as it is right now, the collectibles are not rigged for games. They're not rigged for anything. So what's going to happen in the future? Are they going to upgrade the collectibles? I don't think so. I think if I was veve, I would just make new ones. Like if let's say in the future, this Disneyverse will become interoperable, right? And there's games you can play with it. I'm pretty sure the providers, a third-party provider who's providing any kind of asset that's going to be digital, that could be used and interoperable in their universe, I'm pretty sure would have to be in some capacity built to be compatible, which what we've learned means rigging, animation, and all those things. I'm not convinced that veve will likely go back to those old collectibles. We know from an AMA from Reese that usually expect what you get right now being the best that they can offer. Not saying it's impossible, but I think that they'll probably lean on creating new collectibles that are rigged, that will be interoperable in the future, and that will be their thing to do. Another thing too to mention, Joe, I just want to point this out. I think it's in this article right here. This is really what they're building. They want this. I'll read it for you guys. I'm going to zoom in so it's very obvious. Now we're collaborating on something entirely new to build a persistent, open, interoperable ecosystem that will bring together Disney and Fortnite communities. Now, we got to be careful with the word interoperable, but open I get. That's like GTA. It's going to be open concept, open world. They talk about persistent, when they say the word persistent, I think what they mean is that it's going to be so vast and so grand, and there's going to be so many options in there that they're going to be persistent that you're going to want to use it. I mean, that word was a very selective word to use in this discussion. And lastly, interoperable. What do they mean? Do they mean NFTs so that you could buy an NFT and bring it in? Maybe, because as you said, Joe, Epic Games has a history of being not really NFT friendly. It might change, but they prefer just to offer digital goods that are not NFTs, and then they make sales, right? So maybe interoperably, they might have meant interoperable ecosystems between Disney and Fortnite itself. They might have meant between other Disney products. We follow Disney Pinnacle. We know veve has Disney stuff. We know Cryptos has Disney stuff. Maybe some kind of compatibility where it's vetted and gated to let you in. I mean, the way that we see the metaverse has always been you take an NFT that somehow has the 3D file built into it, or an app that gates it so you can get access to the 3D file and you can import it into any metaverse you want. So what they're building ultimately, we need more information to be sure that they're building this Disneyverse in such a way that it's actually going to be interoperable. Like, oh, I got a 3D Starboy, boom, bring them in. Like, it may not be like that. We'll find out more, but we hope it will.
Yeah, and this is just further to that point where we were talking about earlier. Fortnite and Nike did that .swoosh integration, and you can read here the second one. Items recognized across these two ecosystems are purely for enjoyment of the purchaser and aren't tradable, transferable, or sellable, as has always been the case for Fortnite economy. So it goes on to say that there were some perks for people on the .swoosh platform, but inside Fortnite was not not part of the plan, not part of the deal. The other thing I want to bring up, anyway, if you go back to that David Yu tweet, is that this is not Veve's plan. All right, this is not. If this is insinuating that this was always Veve's plan, it's not. They didn't know about this. You're not building the Veve verse, and then this drops, and you're not integrating into that. You know what I mean? Like, if this is the plan from day one, there's no Veve verse. There's no Veve verse. You build all your assets to be the gift shop for the Disney verse or whatever they're building over here, and you allow that to happen. You building the Veve verse is completely different. You have all the different IPs around. It's not for that. People say it says soon at the end. It's for Veve. It's not for that. Okay. I want that to be clear, because a lot of people, they go off of whatever this guy posts, and they go and they buy everything. They do whatever they got to do. Do not get carried away here, because David, you didn't know about this until we knew about it. I'm telling you that now. That's just pure facts. And it's just something that I know people aren't going to agree with it, but it's just, that's what you're not building a Veve verse if this is your end goal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
you're integrating into here.
If I'm buying a company and I'm Disney, I'm not telling my third party, like people that I work with, or the people who buy licenses off of me, what I'm purchasing. But I think you brought up a good point just in general, though, about all the companies. We covered Disney Pinnacle, Veve, Cryptoids. These are guys that have Disney licenses. Will they be a part of this pie? Will they get access to this? That remains to be seen. I just don't like the blind confidence that I see online that like 100% they're going to be able to integrate directly in and be part of this ecosystem, and all the collectibles that we all own right now are going to just pump and go to the moon. We don't know that, which is why, more important than anything, no matter what Disney does with their Disneyverse, no matter what they do, each third party must find ways to stand out to bring in new users. They must find their own unique form of utility so that new users will come in. And we've spoken a lot about Disney in particular this video because of the comments we got 2 days ago on the video where we discussed how the Vision Pro won't save your bags. But this applies to all collectible companies that we cover, especially the ones that have Disney licenses, which is that you got to do more, okay? You got to do more than just offering a 3D collectible that has a limited license that's gated. Okay, fine. I'm buying a token that gives me a limited license to what? As of now, an AR experience. What more? It's good to say we would like to do this. We would like to do this. What's actually tangible in the roadmap? What's actually being worked on? At least Cryptoids has that Trello board. We can actually see what they're working on, right? Like we just need to know from, like, even Disney Pinnacle, we haven't had a conversation with the team. We don't really know how that will ever be integrated into something like this. All we know is that we're buying Flow blockchain collectibles. They are Disney marketed. Disney's name is right in there. We don't really know at this time the relationship between Disney, the company, and Disney Pinnacle, and how they will be able to integrate in the future. Will NFTs be importable in the future? Will we need the 3D files, or will simply Disney Pinnacle, the app, just be part of that iOS system, I'll call it, for the metaverse, that we could just, because we have the app, it's somehow integratable. They do some back-end stuff on their end, and we don't need the 3D file. We can just import things in. So there's a lot of unknowns at this time. There's still a ton of unknowns. So if you're thinking your stuff's going to the moon because it's going to be a Disneyverse, take a step back, take a breather. I mean, not necessarily.
The Disneyverse will not save your bags. You get into this ball game, get into the ballpark, get your hundreds of millions of followers, and then maybe they'll take a wink at you and figure out if you're compatible with their ecosystem. But until then, I mean, it's a moonshot, right? We're hoping and fingers crossed and toes crossed that this is going to be the place that finally accepts NFTs, but they might not. Fortnite hasn't done it this far. They could have done it when there was an NFT bull run. They didn't do it. They are not interested. They were not interested. They're doing. Epic Games has their own separate NFT games. I know that exists. But I mean, we gotta definitely start to make some noise and make it known why we want proof of ownership. Otherwise, people are just going to get the experiences that Disney tells you that you want, and you're going to experience them that way. And that's how digital is going to be going. If you want digital NFTs, digital collectibles to have value, there has to be utility. This way people want to hold them rather than just doing the free stuff. You know what I mean? Or just going on your Vision Pro, or now going to the Disney by Fortnite verse, which might probably be free, and then you can buy skins in. because they don't care about digital collectibles because there's no utility for them yet. You just put them in your wall or in your showroom and you look at them in AR. Whenever you bring it to the next level and you make it something of interest where hundreds of millions of people are interested, that's when we're going to take the next step. And that's what we were saying 2 days ago. And now we're doubling down on it again today because this just came out, furthering the point that these guys don't need us unless we make them need us.
By the way, it says play, it says watch, it says create. Okay, we didn't even get it. Joe, we're going to need another video. I think we need another video.
We got to go 4-part series here.
This video, I'm guessing right now, I'm just going to throw a title out there. I like what you said. The Disneyverse will not save your NFT bags. I think that's it. But I think we need just a title talking about these 4 words right here. Play, watch, create, and shop. You notice there's no selling, just shopping. So we gotta circle back on this another day. And we're going to talk a little bit about what exactly we envision play, watch, create, and shop in the Disneyverse. Yeah. So, I mean, today was very specific to the digital collectible companies that we follow and how they can integrate and how they probably won't integrate and how what's going to have to happen to integrate and how Disney is going to be something completely separate and how you need utility and all these things. And we would love to know your thoughts about today's video. You can let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think about everything that we said today? By the way, it's okay to disagree. We're just going to debate you, right? Like, I mean, from 2 days ago, I mean, we're good. Like, you want to go back and forth? We'll go back and forth. We'll have that discussion. But we will continue to justify our point, just like many of you will justify your point if you don't agree with us. And in the future, we will look back on the videos and see how things play out, right? That's usually how it goes. So, guys, let us know in the comments below your thoughts. And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash subscribe button. Enjoy this for the fam. Hit the bell notification so you get every single video every single day. Also, superstar VIPs, $2.99 a month. Start beside your name, access spreadsheets, giveaways, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.